Welcome to another episode on our channel. I finally finished with Glenn from The Walking Dead. I decided to keep him in that long sleeve black shirt and the black cargo pants. I decided to keep the dark brown boots that he had on, and added more brown to the motif here. So I used leather from a bangle, which is basically a leather bracelet. I used 2 pieces of the leather, super glued them together so they could fit around his waist, and a metal buckle to fashion the belt. I had a sheath and knife set. The knife had a brown handle and the sheath was green. I ended up painting it brown, painting the belt in the same color because it was really light brown. I wanted it in a darker brown. So I also have this 1911 Colt, which has the same kind of brown here. So I'm trying to go for matching colors. Can't help myself. Just like it that way. He has MP5 in his hands that he's aiming at someone or something. And this is great because we talked about the hugeness of his hands before. Our figures that are being made now have huge hands. And one way to take your attention away from the hugeness of the hands is to put something in their hands. So this worked out quite well, I think. To cover the big wrist tags that were in a different color than his hands, instead of using felt, which would have worked out just fine to use felt, I used parts of socks, black socks, to just cover the ends of his sleeves so that they went out a little bit longer and would cover those big rounded wrist tags. And that worked out well. Felt would have worked fine too, but this is a little more silkier and kind of blends in maybe a bit more with the shirt, but I think felt would have worked just as fine as well. What else can I tell you? I didn't have pegs that would fit the ends of the legs and connect the shoes to the legs. So I'm just letting gravity do its own thing. Now, if I really wanted to have a foot in the air or something like that, I could use a wooden dowel, kind of connect it to the end of the leg and then somehow attach it to the foot. But that would probably require hot glue, and I'd rather not use hot glue if I can get away with it. So gravity seems to be working very well here. So I think in the end, he's looking the way I wanted him to look. I'm sorry, I didn't like Threezero's version in terms of the clothing that they used on him. I think this, for me, works better. And by God, it's my figure, so I'm going to dress him the way I want him to be dressed. So we'll pause now and get him on a turn tray so that you can see him from different angles. All right, let's just go around and see what we have here. I really like this dynamic pose for him. So we'll pause now and get some close-ups from here on up and then directly of his face. I think we'll go around again. Maybe I do need to pull his shirt down a bit. It wants to keep bunched up, it looks like. All right, there we go. So we'll get a close-up of his face. I moved his face up so you could see him better. So we'll look at him from this angle. And here. And then front and center again. There you go. Here's one last look at our figure. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.